is up, everybody? My name is Michael, I'm a moto barista, and here we're talking all things motorcycles and damn fine coffee. What I want to talk to you about today is a recent experience I had at a Harley Davidson dealership and some of the ideas that it inspired in me. In particular, I want to talk a little bit about kind of servicing my bike in the future, and I want to talk about dealership experience as a whole. I want to talk about the customer service aspect, and I want to talk about the whole experience and how we can possibly look at getting new riders into motorcycles, and in particular into the Harley Davidson community. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and let's get into the video. Okay, so it was a little bit too windy out there on the bike to finish off that video, so I've brought you in here, say hello to my new home office and studio. So I've just moved house and set up my first home office, which I'm really happy about, and hopefully be able to use this as a place to film some more videos in the future. We'll talk about that a bit later. For now, I've got my office, I've got my coffee, and I want to start this off by talking about my recent experience in getting my bike serviced. Now, when I bought my motorcycle, I bought it from a dealership that is now since closed. And this dealership was really fantastic. Service was great and staff were really, really friendly and welcoming. Now there are two Harley Davidson dealerships left in the area, and they're both owned by the same owner. Unfortunately, my experience going to this dealership has been a little bit lackluster. I've been in there around 10 times or so now for different reasons, and every single time I'm never greeted by any of the sales staff, including the owner. And this could be when I'm browsing at bikes, looking at parts, merchandise, or even trying to find someone to talk to in the service department. It always seems to be me having to seek somebody out to help me. Now, I recently had my bike in for some warranty work and a service, and the service department of course did a great job. The bike's running better than ever, and the speedometer was swapped over under warranty, and no complaints about that. What's really left a bitter taste in my mouth has been the customer service, and one thing that really struck me was their loan bike service. Now, here in Australia, dealers don't do a service while you wait. Instead, what I do is I drop my bike off either the night before or the morning of the scheduled service. I go to work, and then after work that day, I'll come and pick the bike back up. Now, at previous dealerships for both my Harley Davidson and my previous Ducati Scrambler, the dealers would loan me a bike for the day so I could get around. And they would always give me a brand new motorcycle. And this is obviously great for me. It makes my life so much easier. But also for them, they're providing their customer the opportunity to experience a brand new motorcycle that perhaps they might be tempted to buy after having such a good time out riding on it. So it does make sense for both parties for this kind of loan bike service. Now, this new dealership, what I learned was they do not offer this same service. Instead, they actually charge you $50, and instead of a brand new motorcycle, they give you a 5, 6, 7-year-old Sportster. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with a Sportster, but when you turn up on a brand new Sport Glide or Street Glide or Road Glide, and you're made to pay $50 and you get given an old Sportster, it does leave a bit of a bitter taste. On top of this, they only had 4 bikes to lend, and they were all gone, which meant I was left having to catch the bus. Now, on my way to the bus stop, I walked past the Indian motorcycle garage, and of course, I had to browse because, I love the brand and I love the motorcycles. I had a look at the Chieftain because that's my favorite of all their bikes. I really do love that motorcycle. And as I was having a look at the bike, I got chatting with the sales manager, and he told me that if in the future I could get my bike serviced with them, they have 2 Harley master technicians in their department. They lend out their loan bikes for free, and you can pretty much take anything off the lot and experience their lineup for the day as your bike gets serviced. So this is the dilemma that I'm in, and this is where I need your help. I need to know, what would you do in my position? Where would you take the bike to be serviced? Do I just keep taking it to the Harley Davidson dealer and deal with the poor customer service? Do I take it to Indian Motorcycles and put my faith in their service department? Do I look for a third-party mechanic? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love to be able to service the bike myself, But one, I want to leave it to the professionals, and two, I just don't have the time. I would much rather be using that time, working and earning money, or being out my bike and riding. So again, please let me know in the comments below, what would you do in my position? This experience at the Harley Davidson dealer got me thinking more about the whole dealership experience in general. And I came to the conclusion that I think it's a little bit outdated. And it's not to say that there isn't a place for the traditional dealership model. Of course there is, but I think it's time for something new. Something to help engage more riders into the motorcycle industry, and in particular into the Harley Davidson brand. One of the ideas that I had is inspired by the company Deus. Now, you might know Deus as the awesome motorcycle and surf brand that it is. Now, they're not just a motorcycle or surfboard workshop, they're a full retail experience, offering as well extensive retail spaces and cafe spaces. And they have locations in places like Sydney, Bali, California, and all over the world. Now, when you go to any of these Deus locations, you'll notice that the culture surrounding them isn't just motorcycle riders and surfers. In fact, it's people who just love the space that Deus provides. People going there to meet friends for a coffee, going out to have some lunch, going there to do some work on the laptop and just enjoying the space. That's the kind of place and the community that Deus creates. I think it's really, really cool. And I think that they've probably done a really good job in getting more riders onto motorcycles through their brand and through their community spaces. And I think that this is something where the motorcycle industry could take note from, particularly Harley Davidson. I think they're in a really good position to do something like this. Here in Australia, all of our big dealerships are based in industrial areas. So nobody's walking past and looking at a motorcycle dealer and going in for a browse. Everybody who goes to a motorcycle dealer is purposely going to a motorcycle dealer, which is fine for us riders. It doesn't help engaging new riders and growing the community. Now imagine Harley Davidson opens up a concept store on a high street or in a trendy suburb. They wouldn't have to fill the space with bikes, perhaps just one from each of their lineup. Coupled with that, they have an extensive merchandise and retail space for lifestyle and clothing. And they also have a cafe space offering amazing coffee. I know a guy, by the way, and serving out incredible food, trying to bring the community together in that area and having Harley Davidson as the host of that experience and those interactions. Possibly this is a way that engages a wider community and it helps get new riders involved. Now the challenge here is, of course, who is responsible for this kind of project and this concept store? I don't think that the dealership model right now could support something like this. After all, these concept stores that I'm talking about wouldn't really be making any money from selling bikes because, well, they don't sell bikes. Instead, I think this is something that Harley Davidson could look at in their marketing and advertising budget, opening up a few stores and allowing them to be self-sustainable through their cafe and retail space turnover. This could then serve as advertising to then get more people into the dealers. It could also be a base to run motorcycle classes, workshops, and whatever else that could be beneficial and add value to the whole community experience. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like the idea of my concept store? Do you have an idea that you think could be a really great way in providing a whole new dealership experience? So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think of my idea, and I'd really love to hear your ideas too. Now the reason I brought all this up was not because I want to point fingers or critique or anything like that. It's because I love riding motorcycles and I love the Harley Davidson brand. I want to see this industry and this brand flourish and grow, and I really want to be part of that movement. It's clear that new motorcycle sales are declining, which means that new approaches and new ideas need to be implemented in order to keep this industry growing and keep it thriving. With more and more things coming out these days, with technology and the ability to travel easier than ever, the competition for what we spend our money on is constantly growing. And this is something that the motorcycle industry now has to compete with. It's not necessarily motorcycle companies competing with each other, but rather competing with, like I said, such things as technology and travel. I think that wraps it up for today's video. Like I said, please let me know what you think I should do with my service predicament in the comments below, and let me know about any ideas you have about new dealership experiences, concept stores, or any other way to help grow the community and keep this motorcycle industry thriving into the future. As always, be sure to ride safe, drink some damn fine coffee, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right, peace.